Welcome back to the Eternal Ruins. In this entry, I will speak of the Servitors, what they are, how they act, and the different types you might encounter. Servitors are beings of metal and stone that move and act as though alive. They work tirelessly, unaware that they are the remnants of a time long forgotten. They can be found throughout the ruins, usually broken and battered from the passage of time. Those that still function seem to follow a single command endlessly, such as guard an area for intruders, or build and repair the city. They seem to have no understanding that their roles are now meaningless. The appearance of a servitor varies depending on its task, for it seems they were each built for a different purpose. Their size can range from smaller units to towering colossi, though I've never seen one of these giants still moving. Their bodies tend to be made of a mix of metal and stone on the outside, housing a stringy tangle of ooze that seems to hold their innards together. I have not had the chance to inspect the insides of a working servitor, so I cannot speak to their inner workings. On the broken ones I've inspected, their inner ooze has petrified into a solid state that makes it difficult to take them apart. As I have said, many of the servitors you will encounter are in a state of total disrepair. It seems almost inevitable that eventually the servitors grind to a halt to stand forever still. Moss and algae seem to grow on even the living servitors, clogging up their joints and slowing them down. Ooze spills out from their insides as their workings slowly break down. Many also show signs of damage, most likely from accidents over time. Their plating might be torn open or punctured, or their limbs might be severed. Servitors don't seem to notice their failing bodies, and continue to carry out their tasks regardless of their state. Creaking and hobbling onwards, they will stop at nothing to do what they were built for. Many of them seem to pay no heed to their surroundings, as if they cannot see the ruined state of their world. Wanderers seem mostly invisible to them, unless we directly affect their goal. If we find ourselves the target of their objective, then the servitors can be very dangerous. For some, time has not just damaged their bodies, but also their cold rationality. My theory is that this happens when their task can no longer be carried out. This seems to drive the servitors mad, and they twist their original command until it can be fulfilled. One example I've heard of is a servitor that was built to consume and destroy waste. Unable to find more waste to destroy, it has stretched the meaning to include any living being that it comes across. This is as much as I can say about the nature and workings of the servitors. I know little apart from the bits and pieces I have picked up from the more knowledgeable wanderers than myself. I will now describe for you some of the different types of servitors I've encountered on my wanderings. Guard servitors seem to be tasked with protecting certain areas of the ruins from intruders. They stand like statues in their alcoves by day, frozen in time. When the great bells ring to mark the coming of dusk, these guards twist and shudder to life. They patrol the halls and try to capture anyone they find. One might be forgiven for thinking them easy to evade from their slow and heavy steps. When they are alerted, their arms can stretch and wrap around their quarry so that they can carry them away. I do not know where they take the ones they capture, and I hope never to find out. Builders are another formidable type of servitor. Unlike the guards, they roam freely in groups and seem to be tasked with building and rebuilding the ruins. They take many different sizes and forms. Some of the smaller ones seem to be able to create bricks out of thin air, and I've seen the larger ones erect towers as if they were playthings. The builders do not seem to notice us wanderers, but that actually makes them more dangerous. They reshape the ruins wherever they go, regardless of whether anyone gets hurt in the process. Bearers are also servitors worth knowing about. They simply seem to collect and carry things across the ruins. One example is a bearer that collects loose rubble from a chute and carries it to a pit to dispose of it. Of course, these pits have long since overflown with rubble, forming large hills. If you're feeling brave, I found these bearer servitors to be a helpful form of transportation across the ruins. I have no name for this final type of servitor, but they are worth knowing about. I have only seen one, but other wanderers have told me of similar sightings. They are extremely large, and look quite different than any of the others I have mentioned. From what I understand, each one might be unique. These ones look like they were built to carry out war, a theory backed up by the destroyed state of the one I saw. A colossal warrior impaled by an almighty spear, its insides splayed out. Whilst the one I witnessed was completely destroyed, I have heard of others locked away in deep places in a state of rest. Their chambers were decorated in strange symbols, and nothing seemed to grow around them. That's all for this episode on the Servitors. They've been a big part of the ruins since the beginning, but I haven't really spoken about them until now. I absolutely love the themes that accompany artificial life and can't wait to explore those more through the Servitors. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to follow the channel and leave a comment. You can also join our community on Discord if you want to discuss the video. We are currently running our first challenge where members can introduce their own wanderers. If that sounds interesting, you can find the link down below. If you want more Eternal Ruins content beyond these videos, you can join the Eternal Ruins Patreon. I post weekly lore pages like these that contain anecdotes and encounters within the ruins. There'll never be any special lore dropped there, but they are a fun way to experience more of the ruins. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.